27 février 2016 se tenait au Grimaldi Forum à Monaco la deuxième édition du salon Magic, comme on avait pu le voir dans un récent reportage toujours disponible sur Noco. L'événement avait pu rassembler un certain nombre d'invités prestigieux, dont 3 poids lourds du comics. Il y avait Romita Jr. qui a marqué l'histoire de Spider-Man quand le dessinateur était en charge du tisseur de toile chez Marvel entre 80 et 84. Son compère, Millar, avec qui il a créé Kick-Ass, était aussi présent, ainsi que Lloyd, principalement connu pour être le dessinateur de V pour Vendetta. Romita Jr. a pu s'essayer à un peu tous les héros Marvel durant sa carrière. Sa vie, on peut le dire, est placée sous le signe des comics. Il est le fils de Romita Sr., qui a été le dessinateur principal de l'Araignée à la suite du mythique Steve Ditko à la fin des années 60.
The first thing I saw, even though my father had been working for many years as an artist, the first thing I saw that stuck with me was the cover to Daredevil number 12. After all the years of my father being a romance artist, women and men kissing, I was one. And when I came up to his studio from the room below, climbed up the stairs, and he was drawing that cover. What is this? And he explained what a superhero is, and explained it's like Superman, and it's like this and like that, but this character is, and he was surrounded by the bad guys, with Kazar up in the tree, and he was surrounded by all the bad guys, and my father said he's gonna beat up all these guys. Oh, how is he gonna do that? Well, he's a superhero. And here's the best part is he's blind. Blind? And I think when he said the word blind and he explained to me what Daredevil was, who he was, I was hooked. So I was 8 years old. And from then on, I started to draw at my father's feet. And as I got better and better, and I watched him draw, I got better and better. But I wanted to be an artist from that moment.
Le dessinateur travaille actuellement sur un roman graphique avec Frank Miller, une préquelle du très réputé Dark Knight. En fait, les deux hommes ont pu travailler ensemble sur Daredevil et notamment la série Man Without Fear, publiée entre 93 et 94. Une période de l'intrépide casse-cou en collant rouge dont s'inspirent beaucoup les séries Netflix actuelles.
But Daredevil is very graceful, where Spider-Man is awkward and strange. Daredevil is very graceful and he glides, but the city behind him, a lot like Batman, when he glides around in the sky, that kind of thing, that's a beauty. It's almost balletic, as if it's a ballet chorus. And I loved the character Daredevil because of that. Then working with Frank Miller made it even much more fun. And now all these years later, because of the TV series, I'm very honored to say it's based on some of the things I've done. Once again, the best character I think ever is a toss-up between Spider-Man, Batman. I think the greatest character, in my opinion, overall, because it grew up near me, is Spider-Man, because I grew up right near where Spider-Man. My father took me to the neighborhood, said, this is where Spider-Man lives. I'm in love with this character. The best thing about being in my business was being my father's son, because we became closer as father and son because of the work. But he never wanted me to be a cartoonist. He wanted me to be a fine artist, painting and whatever. If I came to him and said, I don't understand how I can do this, then he would help me out, but never stood over me and said, bad, bad, good, good. He let it go. But he did tell me, I will not help you get into this business. You have to get into it on your own. As a matter of fact, he claims that he was tougher on me than most other artists because he didn't want me to feel in any way privileged. Now, interestingly enough, everyone else treated me horribly because of having the same last name as my father. And it did toughen me up.
Si Romita Jr. rêve dès maintenant à une retraite dorée durant laquelle il pourrait s'adonner à la peinture et assouvir également sa passion pour l'impressionnisme, il a encore de nombreux projets personnels en cours. Par exemple, sa série Smuggy & Bimbo sur laquelle il travaille depuis quelques années déjà. Il a été également très remarqué pour avoir créé Kick-Ass en 2008, série adaptée 2 fois au cinéma, en 2010 et en 2013. Il s'agit de l'histoire de Dave, un adolescent plutôt rachitique qui décide un beau jour de mettre un survêt vert et de sortir faire la justice dans la rue, sans super pouvoir. Évidemment, les déconvenus sont plutôt rudes. C'est avec l'aide de Mark Millar, également présent à Monaco, qui s'occupa alors du scénario, qu'il fit voir le jour à son adolescent qui se prend pour un super-héros.
Yeah, my life, you know. Like from I was 7 until I was about 13 or 14, I considered being a superhero. You know, I genuinely did always wonder. Batman has no powers. Batman's just got a cape and a cowl and a utility belt. Why does nobody dress up as Batman and go out and try to do this? I still wonder that. I'm amazed that there isn't 100 people doing this, you know. But especially dressing up as Batman because he's so cool, you know. So my plan when I was a kid was, yeah, when I'm a little older, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to protect Scotland, my neighbourhood, you know. And I never did it, but I always thought this is the story of what might have happened if I did, which is that Dave gets stabbed with a knife on his first night out on patrol, because that's probably what would happen in real life. So that was my big inspiration, my life. Yeah. Yeah.
Millar s'est rendu célèbre en lançant un des événements comics les plus marquants de ces 10 dernières années, Civil War, dont une adaptation sort bientôt sur les grands écrans du monde entier. Il est aussi à l'origine d'une bonne partie de l'univers Ultimate de Marvel et bien d'autres projets. Romita s'inscrit bien sûr dans la lignée de son père et d'autres grands auteurs de comics comme Jack Kirby ou encore John Buscema. Millar, lui, doit son patronage dans les comics à un scénariste dont le profil se dessine en creux au fur et à mesure que l'on parle aux invités de ce Magic, Alan Moore. Il s'agit du célèbre scénariste de Watchmen, From Hell et bien sûr V pour Vendetta, sur lequel il a travaillé avec Lloyd. L'insaisissable Mr. Moore a fait la connaissance de Mark Millar il y a déjà un moment de cela en 1983.
Even better, I came across Alan Moore when I was 13 years old, and I met him in real life. And I was at a comic convention before Alan Moore was really famous. He was just a little bit famous at the time. He'd just started working on Swamp Thing. Issue 26 had just come out. I hadn't read any of them. And he said to me, "Have you read my Swamp Thing comic?" I was amazed to be meeting someone who worked in the comics industry. And I said, "I'm sorry, I haven't read it yet." I said, "I don't have any money left and I have to go soon." I said, I've no cash. And he said, "I'll buy it for you." And he bought me my first issue ever of Swamp Thing, issue 26, and he signed it for me. And I still have it sitting on my desk. It says, "To Mark, best wishes, Alan Moore." I always remember it, just sitting on my desk. And then I was writing Swamp Thing 10 years later. I started writing it when I was 23. And it was such an amazing moment for me because I'd never met anyone who works in the comic book industry before. And for somebody to buy that book for me and shake my hand and autograph it, it was almost like the Pope giving you a little blessing or something, you know. So when I came to do Swamp Thing later, it felt nice. It felt like my destiny after meeting Moore, and he was so lovely and so gracious that inspired me. I always wanted to be a comic book writer since I was 4 years old. I used to make my own comics, but meeting Moore made me realise you could live in Europe and work in the American comic book industry.
C'est à peu près à la même période, au début des années 80, que David Lloyd fait la connaissance d'Alan Moore et qu'il débute une collaboration qui s'avérera fructueuse.
The first stuff I did with Alan Moore was for Doctor Who magazine, Doctor Who Weekly. It was a series of articles and strips. You never got out of here, but it was a series of articles and strips about Doctor Who. I never did any of the Doctor Who strips featuring Doctor Who, but I was hired to do the backup stories. These are backup stories about the monsters, you know, like Cybermen and Ice Warriors and the Silurians, all that stuff. I was hired to do these stories, which are short stories in the back of the magazine. Alan was hired to do those. He did them, and the first story I did with him was called Black Legacy. It was about Cybermen, and we had a great time. I mean, as soon as I saw his script, I knew he was great. I knew he was brilliant.
Quand le projet, qui deviendra plus tard V pour Vendetta, prend forme, le dessinateur se tourne naturellement vers le scénariste britannique pour qu'il mène à bien ce titre.
Originally, I was supposed to do the whole thing of V, but I wanted to work with Alan on it. And I had a great time working with him. There's this big legend that he has these very detailed scripts. Well, I never had that because I was the first person he collaborated with, and he wasn't writing those incredibly detailed scripts. He's become kind of notorious for. So I had a great time working. We were on the same wavelength. We were influenced by similar things, similar books. We'd seen the same TV series, the same TV, seen the same movies, liked the same writers, some of the same writers, and we worked great together. So what can I say? And you asked about, I haven't seen him for ages. I mean, you know, even when I was working with Alan, we didn't socialise. You got to remember that everybody in the business lives in all different parts of the country. And the only time you get to see each other is at a convention, because that's when everybody comes together at a convention. So you don't see anybody otherwise, unless you happen to be living in exactly the same area. And so whenever I saw Alan, it was at conventions or events like that. But then, of course, when he became famous, he couldn't go to conventions anymore because he would be chased into the toilet for his autograph. That happened, you know? Really? Yeah, they wouldn't leave him alone. He was mobbed, which is, you know, he just became so famous. Well, you know, so he stopped going to conventions. So, you know, I never got to see him. But he's a great guy, and I had a great time working with him, and, you know.
Moore est réputé pour ses prises de position très sévères concernant l'adaptation cinématographique de ses œuvres et de l'industrie du comics en général, à tel point qu'il refuse d'être crédité au générique du film de James McTeague de 2006. Ce qui ne fut pas le cas de Lloyd, moins radical sur ce point.
Well, I wasn't involved with the movie at all. I heard they were doing it, and I think it was Larry Wachowski or Andy. I think it was Andy. Andy phoned me up. I think it was Larry, actually. Anyway, he phoned me and told me that he was going to send me the script. And I said, well, that's great, you know. And I said, are you interested in any feedback on it? And he said, yeah, of course. And in fact, I did offer a couple of suggestions, but they were just in the storytelling. It was very pleasant, you know, to do that. And but I wasn't involved in making the movie at all. The only thing they did want me to do, they wanted me to do a cameo. You know, at the end of the movie where they take all the masks, they wanted me to do one of those. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. I leave all that stuff to Stan Lee. It's kind of like.
À l'inverse de Lloyd qui prend du recul, Mark Millar, lui, a décidé de renforcer son contrôle sur ses œuvres et des adaptations qui pourraient en découler. Il a notamment lancé le label Millar World en 2004, dont les œuvres paraissent en France chez Panini Comics, au sein duquel celles-ci appartiennent à leurs auteurs et non plus à une grande maison d'édition de type Marvel. C'est ainsi qu'il a pu avoir plus de contrôle sur l'adaptation de Kingsman Service Secret, sortie au cinéma en 2015, adaptée d'un de ses comics.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I see a movie 100 times before it comes out because I'm sitting in the edit suite watching new cuts of it. You know, like Kingsman, Matthew flew me down every Wednesday for months to watch it every Wednesday, to watch the new cut where something had been slightly changed, something slightly changed. And we would, as a producer on the film, I would sit and give notes and send notes in, and the other producers did the same thing. So you don't watch it as a fan, you watch it as one of the creators, you know, so you watch every other movie as a fan, so it's fine, you know. But I think it's just really important if you've created something like Kick-Ass or whatever, or Wanted, or any of the books that I've done at Millar World, you don't want to just hope for the best and pass them on. You want to do what Marvel did. You know, like Marvel had movies at Sony, they had movies at Fox and everything, and they were very creatively involved as executive producers, and I've learned how important that is. I've got the power to kind of veto directors and veto writers and things, and maybe veto scripts if I don't like a script. So I like to exercise that really and just make sure that the best people are on my stuff. I'm giving my children up for adoption with this stuff, so I want them to go to good parents. I want them to go to Jonathan and Martha Kent. You know, I want good people to adopt these kids.